Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing good today. Alright guys, so in the last video I put out of Charlie's bike, I got a ton of criticism for putting JB weld on his crankcase. When all you're doing is watching a video, it's hard to see what's going on behind the scenes and all the other discussions and things like that that have happened. I just want you all to know that my dad and I are well aware of the fact that JB weld is not a solution or a fix for a broken crankcase on a motorcycle or any other engine. The first thing my dad said when he saw the fact that that bearing had been knocked out of place was that he wouldn't run that engine. So I talked to the owner of the motorcycle about it, which at the time he didn't have the money to rebuild the engine or to buy new crankcases. And then I called up another guy who rebuilds engines, and he told me that if the guy who owns the bike still wants to run it, then to just make sure that he's not losing all of his oil out of the crankcase. So that's why we put the JB weld on there. Obviously, that's not a fix. It's not going to put the bearing back into place or anything like that. That engine needs to be rebuilt. So the JB weld, all that really was just a temporary kind of solution, if you can say that, for someone who didn't have the money to put into a new engine or new engine parts at the time. The bike went back together. This video shows it going back together the rest of the way. However, I have informed him that all that he can really do is replace the cases. He might be able to salvage some of the rest of the engine parts, but realistically the whole thing has to come apart. Everything needs to be checked over and make sure that it's all in spec. And other than that, if he doesn't want to spend the money right now, and if he doesn't care about salvaging the rest of the engine, I guess the only other option is to ride that one until it totally blows up. So that's up to him if he wants to do that or not. I don't really know the condition of the rest of the motor. I do have a feeling though that it's been run enough that there's definitely going to be some other parts needing to be replaced. It's just very unfortunate that that's what we discovered. I did my part of the deal, which was basically just get him a working transmission. Unfortunately, he's just not in a position right now to completely rebuild his engine. So things are just kind of what they are right now at this point. Anyway, guys, I wanted to put that disclaimer out here so that you all know that my dad and I do not believe that JB weld is a proper fix for a crankcase. If it was my motorcycle, it would have never actually gone back together. It would be sitting in pieces here, and I would be waiting until I had the money to fix it properly. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's just a short one today, and if any of you have a spare Evo engine or crankcases that you want to sell for cheap, Charlie lives pretty close to the US border, so hit me up in the comments, and I hope you guys all enjoy the video. Thanks. Okay, so it's been like a month since I've been out here videoing anything on Charlie's bike, but I'm back at it, and I don't remember what I was filming out here last time I was out here, but I do remember that I'm pretty sure I did talk about the issues with Charlie's transmission. So I'm going to be using the transmission that I took out of his bike, and I'm going to be putting that one back in. Originally, I thought that there was an issue with it that I wasn't able to solve, but then we discovered what that issue was. Anyways, I'm going to clean this thing up, and then I'm going to be putting some new seals in it, and then it should be ready to go back in the bike, and this whole project should be smooth sailing from here. All this has to go back onto there. A little trick my dad taught me: if you ever have a bolt like this that has a torque spec but you can't get a torque wrench on it, you do up your other fasteners if you have that option, and then you get a wrench, preferably a long-handled wrench, and you just test one of your other fasteners, see how tight it is, just to turn it a touch with your wrench, and then you just match that on the fastener that you can't get your torque wrench on. And then you're close. You'll be close to your torque spec, at least that way. the transmission's all sealed up and it's ready to go on the bike now. Finally, I cleaned out the mounting holes on the frame for the transmission plate, and yeah, those were really dirty. They were like full of a beach's worth of sand. So those are clean. Everything's ready to go. I'm gonna just start slapping this thing together. Probably not as quickly as I would like to because it's only my second time actually putting one of these drivetrains together. Maybe third time. We'll say second time to be fair. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop and check the manual and just make sure I'm doing things properly. But we are ready to go, so let's go. I was just about to put the primary on here, but I had an idea. His primary is from a Sturgis model with a belt drive, so it's not actually set up to have a wet clutch in it. And whoever had this bike before had all of the bolt holes like full of silicone to keep them from leaking. So I figured that it's better to go with a dry clutch inside of here. He's got a chain drive obviously, so I'm gonna route his crankcase breather so that it actually breathes onto the chain. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean all his clutch plates. I was just working on cleaning the silicone out of this mid-control hole. So yeah, we're gonna pull this out of here. I'm gonna get a brass fitting that I can put a hose on, and then his crankcase breather is just gonna breathe in here. All right, so I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and then yeah, get it ready to put back together, and hopefully tomorrow this should all be done. I feel like I keep saying that and tomorrow never comes. Well, it's tomorrow. Apparently it does come around every once in a while. However, no little shop trolls have come around and built this bike for me while I was sleeping. So I suppose I will continue on that today. The plan still remains the same. We will be turning this into a dry primary. I just wanted to do a bit of research on his clutch and make sure that that would be okay to convert it to dry. And these Rivera, Primo clutches are for wet and dry application. So that's good. So I will clean the clutch plates a little bit, and that'll be that. And then we will put a fitting in here so that his crankcase breather can oil the chain. Got a few fittings picked out here. I'm probably gonna look maybe for a better one. Not sure yet. Anyway, guys, let's just get to it. Alright, so I properly plugged the hole back here where his mid-control shifter would go, and I got a little brass fitting on here, so this is all ready to go back together. Okay, I've got my starter in. Man, was it a struggle. And I'm just about to mount it to the plate that goes on the kicker cover here. But the threads on this stud are so screwed up, they're like non-existent. So I'm gonna run a dye over them. I just started filming here because, like, literally guys, everything on this bike has been this kind of a thing. It's like everything that I've had to touch on here has just been ridiculous. It's just been like so much messing around, trying to find the right size fasteners in my depleted fastener collection. It's like having to fix every thread. It's just been a bit of a nightmare. I think today should be the final day of this torturous project that I've gotten myself into. Literally, every single nut or bolt that I have touched on this thing has needed to either be replaced, or the thread has needed to be fixed, or the part just does not fit the way that it should, and it has made everything take so much longer. But we're getting there, and the last thing I have to do now is put the primary back together, and oh my gosh, I'm hoping that it just goes back together without any problems. I've got the other side of the bike all together, and I did not video myself doing a bunch of that because I was doing it at like 2 in the morning, and I was just tired and a little bit grumpy. So that side of the bike's all ready to go. I'm just gonna throw my primary together and pray to God that everything goes smoothly from this point forward. And I feel like I have said that so many times throughout the duration of this whole project that when I say it, I just don't even believe that it will be true anymore. Anyway, guys, let's hop to it again. Gotta be kidding me. Why can't I just put this thing together? The spring is broken. Literally everything that could be wrong is wrong. Done. I can't believe it. I'm done. Oh my gosh. Finally. This bike is officially done. Well, I'm done with it anyway, so yeah, it feels pretty freaking good to be done, finally. Yeah, you just never know with bikes like this. If it was my bike, I would be taking it apart completely and putting it back together piece by piece just to be sure that everything on it was safe and going to operate correctly, but it's not my bike. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it more than I enjoyed making it. And like always, if you guys like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me but you like my bikes, then like, comment, subscribe, do all those things you guys do. And like always, my lovely YouTube people, I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace. I don't even remember how those freaking go. I don't like that situation. Get the freaking heck in there. I'm not videoing me frick angel, which is a freaking problem in my opinion. This is a pain in the butt. I like the ones with the studs on them better. You freaking dummy. Can you freaking get it together already? Don't make me sound stupid, Tiny. Sometimes, Tiny, I wish things could just not be a pain in the butt. What a dumb spot for a breather line. Okay, okay. Okay, let's try that again. These stupid oil lines is nasty looking. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. My whole life I've been going in the same toolbox and the tools have always been in the same spots in that toolbox. But I always open every single drawer to find the tool I'm looking for. With no shortage of screwing around, of course. Oh my gosh, I'm not even talking into the mic. Ah, for Pete's sake. Where the heck is the washer I just had on there? This is a ridiculously huge ratchet for that. No, I'm not. I'm pretty sure I went over that all, so I might not even put this part in the video. I don't know. You know what? I hate having that many freaking cuts. I feel like I'm like working against the clock with Loctite. Holy crap, man. Makes no sense. Angel, should have freaking Loctited those already. Get off of there.